we're gonna tidy up this area a little bit. As you can see, in our most recent extreme detail video, I was able to address the outside of the car, but there's still a few areas inside that we're gonna touch up. I think this is done now. I went all the way around through the jam and cleaned those up a little bit, including the hatch itself. Touched up everything that's plastic with some protectant, and then did a full wipe down of the tray down there itself. Looks much better. Just going over the carpet itself now with some of my favorite stuff, tough stuff. Let it soak in for a second, and then we go wipe it off with a towel. Look what I got in the mail today. Thank you, eBay. This is my spark plug wire cover. It's gonna go right here. I'm gonna take off the remains of the rear mud flap here in the right rear because that's the only thing that's left, is that much of it. I've had the absolute worst luck with people selling garbage online. I've gone through now 3 of these trying to find one that is complete and fully functional. It's the first time I'm putting it through commute duty, and I just realized I gotta open my door to get this gate open because I can't roll my window down and swipe. Great. It always cracks me up too how some Hondas have counterclockwise movement for changing the dial brightness. So I'm actually going to the left and it makes it brighter. My Legend does the same thing with the courtesy lights in the footwell. Good news is I just made a Craigslist transaction here, and I found a couple things I needed from a guy over here in Scottsdale, so I'll show you. He had the board that goes in here. Obviously it's not in great shape, and I now have a donut spare tire, which I didn't have. So I'm gonna get that all put back together when I get back to the house, but one step closer to being done. Okay, here's a little update on this interior trim. Let's see if I can get this thing out of here. There we go. So I picked up a piece from that guy on Craigslist. His car interior was brown, but it looks like somebody had painted it black at some point, which is fine by me because it means it'll match mine. Let's see which way this has to go. Just like that. Before I can put this spare tire in my car and feel good about it, it's gonna get scrubbed down on the interior, as well as, I think I'm gonna abandon for now anyway, the rear valances on that body kit and just get the mud guards installed. I was missing the passenger side, so I've successfully snagged that on Craigslist. Okay, now you can see where I've inserted the cardboard piece. This is clearly imperfect, but they're impossible to find. I did find a new supply of these things, but it's overseas and it costs more than the piece is worth to ship it here because of the bulkiness. So this will do for now. Gonna reinstall freshly cleaned up spare tire and jack equipment for now. All put away now, and I'm gonna hold off on doing the mud flap install for another day. But it's nice to have the trunk sitting flat now at least. These things are shiny as can be. So let's go ahead and do the reinstall. Passenger side, or excuse me, driver's side has been on the car before. Just putting that back on, and then passenger side will be new today. Well, this makes a lot more sense now that I've got this torn apart. I couldn't get really good access to this screw hole to put the mud guard on, so I went ahead and took the back left wheel off. This car does have Coney shock absorbers, so this could be part of the reason why it does ride rough and tend to sit a little bit lower than I think a stock Integra would. And here's another opportunity for cleanup. I probably won't address this today, but at some point in a future video, you'll see all of this get refinished and the entire wheel well cleaned up. All right, everything is installed. Let's put this thing back together and do the other side. Speaking of other projects for other days, oh boy, guess what I'm going to be doing with these wheels in a future date. Okay, that's gonna do it. I know it's mix and match because the car has the lip kit on the sides and front. However, you've seen in prior videos, this car has multiple shades of paint. I'm not gonna go have a pair of lower lips painted in an attempt to match this car and then later on have to do a full respray. I'd rather just get by with these. At least the back is uniform now and I have both sides. And then someday far, far into this car's future, when it gets a respray, then those lip pieces can be installed. It's worth mentioning here that I've been checking things off as I go on the Integra. So the restoration checklist is 50 items long. Everything that's grayed out here I've already done. So as you can see, let's do a quick filter here. If I sort by color, move those to the top. So I've knocked out 37 items and I only have 13 left in 2 months' time. Not bad, right?